So let's say I had my car over at the gas station, and I take out the pump, and I just keep pumping fuel into the car. Just pouring more and more and more gas into the tank until it's spilling out and overflowing and getting everywhere. No amount of fuel I put into that car, right, is actually going to change where my car is. In fact, there's a limit to how much fuel I can put in there before it becomes a waste, an absolute misuse of that resource. And while it's obvious that if you see someone standing at a parked at a gas station, just overflowing gas, there's something wrong going on, that's actually exactly what's going on in a lot of people's situation, where they are just accumulating information, resources, links, tabs, watching a million videos without driving the car, without doing something with it. That our tank of what information we can really do something with is actually surprisingly limited. It's not like we can just accumulate all the information we'll ever need to know and then act on it and never have to look something up again. In fact, because of the convenience of how easy it is to find the next step or the other resources relevant to our problem on the internet, it's often pretty efficient to instead get just the information we need for the step that we're at. So, when you're a beginner, it's kind of a waste of energy to be focusing too much on longer arc, super advanced stuff. You're really figuring out, how do I get from beginner up to the intermediate level? What are the materials I can focus on where I can learn it, really do something with it, apply it? Because information otherwise is, like I say, it's like fuel. It's like just accumulating it. It doesn't actually move you. You got to find it, do something with it. For whatever reason, a lot of us actually are pretty reasonably trained that in certain areas of our life, we don't buy more food if we have food in the refrigerator we haven't eaten yet. At least we know we shouldn't. A lot of people are pretty guarded against buying more books if they haven't yet read the books that they've got, or buying more movies if they haven't watched the movies they've been getting, or maybe at least the things that we might not be so great at in the case of like Steam games, and the sales have certain ways they trick us, where lots of people will buy lots of games even if they have games they haven't played, but at least we know we shouldn't. And for whatever reason, we're not wired in the same way. And when it comes to information, occasionally it might be the case that the kind of information we have isn't really right for the level we're at. That I know people, so people respond to this get yourself to do things email list, contact me. And sometimes their situation is they've read some books on it, but they're still kind of stuck at square one. And I think what that is a sign to me is that what they've read isn't right for the level that they're at. It's not something that's going to get them where they need to go, right? So if we want to go back to our transportation example, maybe the book they're reading is basically jet fuel, but they still first got to read car fuel to get themselves from here to the airport, where that fuel becomes relevant. A bit of a stretch, but you get what I'm saying. That it might be the case. You don't need more information. You might need different information, but still what you need is not a whole lot. And as soon as you find something that's for the level you're at, that's suitable for you're just getting started, like my codeyourfirstgame.com is a source a lot of people have been using. That's a starting point. That once you have the information, the answer is to do it, is to use it, is to follow it. And after that, I've got my other video course, which again, takes you right off that point, and it's the information you need for the next step you're going from. Same sort of thing we do inside the club is help figure out where somebody at, what's the information that they need to get them to the next place, and that's the information we focus on. Because, once again, that gas tank we're working with, of how much information we can pile up and then do something with, is actually smaller than we might imagine it to be. Which is really doing us a favor. It means that we don't need to spend years soaking in just facts and knowledge. It means we got to act, do something in a way you can really do right now with resource at your fingertips. If you haven't started anything, check out that codeyourfirstgame.com. That's always a place to get started. And wherever you're at, I hope with this other way of thinking about it, hopefully we can kind of stop this habit, stop this tendency to overaccumulate links and tabs and ebooks and videos and things that we're not really using, and figure out what's something I've got that I can really act on and use. And that's going to leave you someplace new, better, different, more advanced. And from there, stop, reassess, figure out what's the piece of information I can use, and so on and so on and so forth. So that's it for today. Thanks always for tuning in. Chris Dillon here for Keto, and I'll have another video for you all tomorrow. Bye for now. By the way, if you haven't been linking or subscribing, I totally wish you would do that. Subscribe, like, share the channel with others if it's helpful to you. Thanks as always. Bye for now.